It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, alongside the draw, Jackie Rodriguez. What is up?
What's up, indeed? It's finally Friday. If you're like me, it's been a long week, but we're finally here. We are ready to talk some AEW with you guys.
And on the other end, we got the producer the man who will be the first one that Jamie Hayter likes to post of. Shout out to his shirt that he's wearing right now, Mr. Kyle Masters. What is going on?
Haters gonna hate, which represents me so well on this show. But what's going on, everybody? That's right. I am dedicated. Jamie, you hear this? I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna be your first Twitter like. I don't care what it takes. Okay? I'm getting that first Twitter like.
What if it takes watching Monday Night Raw? Is that too far?
I will sit through an entire episode of Raw just for a Jamie Hater to like my tweets.
That's love, y'all. That's love.
I'm 100% sure that will not be the stipulation, and you will not have to torture yourself like that.
I will suffer for Jamie.
Hashtag suffer for Jamie.
Yeah. Throw up that hashtag.
And shout out to Mama POV in the chat.
Hey. Mama POV is
on
back.
This special night on Fridays, just for this week. We still haven't talked as a group what we're going to do next week because, of course, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. We have some options, but definitely by the end of this weekend, we will figure everything out, let you guys know what is going on. But, yeah, how's everybody doing? Welcome to our show.
I don't have Thanksgiving next week.
You don't, but we do in the States.
Y'all need to bring that into October
States.
like we do, man.
Yeah, I know we do. It would be so much easier.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so... Listen, there's a lot of things to talk about this week. I want to start with something good, and then we're going to go into the Cody situation that I teased on Twitter. Before we get into the show, one of my best friends, MJ, had her daughter this week. Beautiful baby girl. For anybody who used to listen to us back when we hosted Who Got Next, make sure you guys go over on Twitter, MJ_Santi with 2 eyes on Twitter. Give her some congratulations. Give her some love. It's been a long journey for her and her husband to bring this beautiful baby girl into this world. So make sure you guys go and congratulate her. I'm very proud, very happy for them. Now, with that being said,
oh boy,
let's get into this fucking bullshit. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Now, for a backstory, we'll start at the end, jump to the beginning, give you the meat and potatoes. Cody Rhodes deactivated his Twitter. Why? Why would he deactivate his Twitter, right? EVP of one of the biggest wrestling companies in the world.
Why is that a why? I think people know.
Right? No, but just for people who don't know, some people don't know. Some people are smart and stay off Twitter. So, ever since Cody Rhodes, and we talked about it on last week's show, ever since Cody Rhodes cut that promo against Anthony Ogogo about race and all this stuff about his daughter, the internet turned on him. It became the cool thing, quotation marks, the cool thing to hate Cody Rhodes. It's fine. You don't have to like him. Like, you didn't have to like John Cena. Like, you didn't have to like Roman Reigns. Like, whatever. Like, you don't have to like Charlotte. Everybody, it's a mob mentality like Jackie said last week. Fine. You don't like Cody Rhodes.
It's like Becky Lynch. She doesn't like Charlotte, apparently.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah. So I get it. All right. I understand. However, bullying someone into submission, to delete their social media, to... we don't know if he's dealing with mental health issues, right? Mental health is a huge topic in the world. We don't know, right? You don't know. And to have people celebrate, this is what pissed me off. To have people celebrate that they were part of the reason why Cody Rhodes deleted his Twitter. And some fucking asshole who we're not, I don't even know his Twitter name. Who gives a shit? He doesn't need to shout out.
Nah, don't put people over.
Right? To bring the picture to Full Gear that said Cody Rhodes ended racism, thinking it was funny. And then to go on Twitter when Cody Rhodes deletes his thing and be like, I did it, guys. I got him to delete it. You're a fucking loser. All right? Just straight up, you're a fucking loser. Especially in a wrestling community who, was it a year ago when Hana killed herself because of online bullying? And we were all like, we're not going to do this no more as a community. And then fucking 3 days later, they bullied Brandy Rhodes into deleting her Twitter for a while. And then when Brody Lee died, we were all like, listen, you know, like, this is a tough loss for everybody in the wrestling community. Let's be nicer to each other. And then, you know, probably the next day, people were bullying somebody for something. It's fucking ridiculous now. Like, I get it. You don't have to like Cody. There's wrestlers that I don't like. I've never been a fan of the person Sasha Banks, but I can still respect her as a wrestler. I'm not going to go on Twitter every day and bash her. And, you know, when she does something stupid, like fucking no-show SummerSlam because she doesn't want to get the vaccine, I'm not going to fucking poke her and fuck you, Sasha Banks, on Twitter. Like, you're corny. Go to these AEW shows happy. Go to these AEW shows to have a good time. If you don't like a performer, get up, go to the bathroom. Right? Everyone's looking for a bathroom break during these AEW shows, and there isn't any because every match is good. You don't like Cody Rhodes? Show AEW by getting up and walking away. Don't hold up a sign that could fuck with someone's mental health of you making a stupid fucking joke. That isn't funny. But that's it. That's all I gotta say. I'll go to you, Kyle.
They just have no chill today. It's crazy how much more, it's weird to say, more confidence the trolls have nowadays. And social media is the worst for trolls because that's like their platform, right? They can sit in their basement ordering their pizza and, you know, they can sit there behind their keyboard all night and troll away, and, you know, they're not going to get any consequences. They get blocked by people, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get that attention. But here's a crazy part. If you give those trolls no attention, that says a lot more than giving them the attention on Twitter, like, you know, commenting on their posts and kind of drawing a traction to that tweet. Guys, just don't even comment on it. Like, yeah, it's bad, and he deserves to be like rectified and deserves to be put on a poll and all that stuff, but don't answer it. Like, just don't give him the time of day, because you commenting on his Twitter post is creating traction and creating more eyes on that Twitter post, which is what he's looking for. Don't do it. Just leave it alone.
I'm guilty of that.
I know we all guilty of that, but I think the main thing in the end is that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that attention. And by you commenting and saying, like, oh, F you for saying this, that's giving your attention to him. You're in the right mindset by criticizing the guy, but you're also doing worse because he's looking for you to comment.
I don't get the negativity. Like, it just blows my mind how you can hate somebody so much for something so little. It was one promo, bro. One fucking promo. And it's like, what do you expect the man to say? His wife is black. He's white. They're just having a mixed race baby. I'm mixed. I'm half white and half Puerto Rican. Like, you're going to talk about both cultures. You're going to talk about bringing people together. Especially, we know that Cody Rhodes has aspirations to run in politics. This is how politicians talk. We understand this. And it just blows my mind that when he gave like a quote unquote controversial promo when talking about COVID and all that stuff, everybody was like, yeah, Cody, you're the man. Thank you for saying something because you agreed with him. And then he does a promo about race, and maybe you don't agree with him about the way he did it, and that's fine. But don't change your whole perspective on the fucking guy. And all that's going to end up happening is, in a few years, you're going to fucking feel stupid, and you're going to pretend like you never did this, the same way people do with John Cena, and the same way people do with Roman Reigns right now. Because we all fucking know, if Cody Rhodes on fucking Rampage tonight turned heel and hit the pedigree, all these Cody haters would be like, yeah, bro, American Nightmare, love this guy, Bullet Club Cody, he's back. Yeah,
I just bought all his shirts.
Oh
yeah, this is fucking great. I love this guy. And then it fucks up him with little kid fans because now he's a bad guy. right? And all this stuff. And it's like, you don't have to like him. It's what, 3 hours of AEW content a week? You don't have to like every single segment. It's fine. You don't like the Cody segment, do something else. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
So
The difference between not being a fan of somebody and, not caring for a character. And then there's a level of, vitriol and aggression that comes out online when people get very confident and very brave behind a keyboard, behind a screen, behind an avatar of a picture that's not even themselves half the time. Mm-hmm. And get very comfortable to say a lot of ugly things out there. And, it's just completely unnecessary. And back to what Kyle was saying earlier, I've kind of taken to my social media on more than one occasion. And I'm like, I'm never one to tell people what they can and can't do with their social media. It's, it's free range out there. However, I just find it to be so irritating when somebody goes out there and says something that's just beyond inappropriate, completely, disrespectful, and people boost the hell out of it. Like, they retweet it to say like, oh, this is, or quote tweet it to say like, this is garbage. This is a garbage take. And I'm like, yeah, but you are literally giving this person exactly what they're looking for. You're giving them the attention. You're giving them the platform. So it's like, just don't do it. Just, from the standpoint of the person that's actually committing the offense, like, don't go out there and be an asshole, but don't boost it either.
Could you imagine that tweet getting no likes and no retweets? That guy's gonna take it down because
exactly.
He got no attention.
Never do it again.
Yeah.
And listen, I was telling these guys a story before we went live, right? The reason I go so hard on Twitter about WWE marks saying reckless shit is because that used to be me. I was that guy before Rant with Ant and G-Rod showed me New Japan Wrestling and all this stuff. I was that guy who hated Kenny Omega because I was the Roman Reigns guy. And Kenny used to have me blocked on a different account. I was that guy. I was that fucking idiot. But you grow and you learn. You go out there, you watch different promotions, you fall in love with just the art form of wrestling and not just a specific company that you're watching. It just so happens that I love AEW. But it's beyond the fact. Just because maybe you like WWE or whatever doesn't mean you have to shit on Cody Rhodes, because yet again, to bring it all around, and we can end it with this, every time you go to write that negative tweet, think about Hana. Think about how she killed herself. She was what, 21, 22 years old?
Very
young.
Whole career ahead of herself. She kills herself because of online bullying. And when that shit happened, like I said, everybody was like, we need to stop. We need to remember that shit. Because yeah, maybe Cody is, we hope, knock on wood, it never gets to that point. But you stop pushing him, right? I don't know. If you guys want to say any last words.
I think we should transition this energy, so away from that, into a topic that happened today, necessarily, I think it was last night. Again, it's unfortunate, but it's the way that company's doing what they're doing. Another set of releases by WWE and a lot of talented people on this end as well. And this,
you have that list?
So I don't have the list here, but it's interesting enough that this set of releases, I've never seen so many wrestlers come out of the woodwork as this set of releases. Oh my Lord. So many wrestlers were tweeting about this set of releases and it was basically like support everyone else but that company tweets.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And I've never seen something like that before. And I'm like, oh damn. This one struck a big nerve. And
yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think it's necessarily, the grouping itself. It's more, how many more times are we going to go through this scenario in this year alone? It's like people have kind of had enough at this point. It's like, how many of these lists are going to come up in a short period of time? I
agree. And this is where I understand from the business side of things. This company is preparing for a sale. This is what a company does when they're in preparation for a sale. There was a guy, I think it was back in August or July. He was like a business major and he broke it down like side by side of like what a big company does before they sell. And it was almost exactly the same as to what WWE is doing right now. So,
but it makes you thankful. And I see people talking about in the chat. This was a week before Thanksgiving, which is crazy. And Thanksgiving's coming up. Be thankful. Let's be thankful that AEW exists. Let's be thankful the Impacts and the New Japans and the MLW. I know Ring of Honor is ending, but let's be thankful that there's other companies out there that these people can go to. And, listen, what's another company's trash is our treasure,
So
right?
that's what I was gonna say. Who? If you were Tony Khan, who are you picking out of that crop? I have
Two
one
people.
name. I have one
I have
name.
two people.
And I think I know the second name you're gonna pick. I know one.
Swerve Scott,
Yep.
who's Shane Strickland. Tegan Knox, who's Nixon Newell. Sign Tegan immediately. Immediately. Tegan is awesome. She's had some very, very bad luck with knee injuries, but when she is healthy, she is incredible. And Shane Strickland is unfucking real. I'm so shocked they let him go. Whatever, you want to get rid of Hit Row, maybe you think Shane is better on his own, but Shane Strickland is fucking
Just said in
awesome.
the chat there, I had my eye on John Morrison.
Just because you want him to be Johnny Elite, because he's always something, you know?
And because he's actually a great wrestler and he never got
He
his
is.
chance to do that in WWE. They used him as a comedy act, which it was insane because you saw all what he did leading up to. Oh, hang on. Pause.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Pause.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Nod,
Everyone in the
nod.
chat, listen up. If y'all want to become famous right now, you're going to want to go to bigfollowspace.com. Make sure
Don't
you get
forget the space.
Don't forget
Don't
the
forget
space,
the
or else
space.
you ain't going to get your big follows. Bet some big follows. You guys want some big follows? Get to that link. They're going to come to us every single time in the chat. Make sure you hop on that right away. There's only a limited time that you can click that link, and you'll get yourself some big follows.
Not too bad. I already hit the band hammer. Next.
But yes,
Yeah, let's go.
let's move on. Let's move on. I'll let
But
the
Jackie, what do you think about the releases and who they should sign?
You know, it's always harder for me because I have been so out of touch with the WWE product, admittedly, for like a couple years now. Anytime that I see like a prominent name in the women's division, and I think that Tegan Knox could be that person. So I'm like, I think AEW can definitely serve itself well by acquiring more people for the women's division in particular. So that would be my pick just based off of necessity. And, you know, I'd be interested to see what she would bring to the company. But as far as like the list, it's so hard for me to say because I haven't really been in touch with what's going on over there.
Now, the another thing that I want to bring up, and if anybody has the details from this, you guys can jump in. But so it was announced that Kenny Omega is very injured, and you know, we mentioned it on last week's show. He's been wrestling with Vertigo for 2 years, which is unreal, right? But yeah, he's gonna be gone for a while. A lot of surgeries, a lot of stuff coming up. I don't know if you guys have it.
I
Do you have it,
have
Kyle?
it here. Multiple surgeries, by the way. This was reported by Meltzer. He got the deets on it. So he'll be getting surgery on his shoulder, his knee, and his abdomen. And his abdomen is evaluating a septum surgery as well. Omega has been working with a torn labrum and abdominal hernia for months as well. So this guy not only was your AEW World Champion through the COVID era and through that last part until he got the Hangman, he was wrestling with so much through that entire era. I don't think we can give enough credit to Kenny Omega. And he was a belt collector through all that. You got to remember, too, he was a multiple company champion wrestling with all that with all those injuries and Vertigo. So my Lord, and I love the shout out by Xavier Woods today, Austin Creed, the sign that said "Get Well, Kenneth" on it, and then Kenny quote retweeted it and put himself in the hyperbolic time chamber or the the Vegeta chamber when he was recuperating.
No, you got it right. Hyperbolic time
Okay,
chamber.
I was right. Yeah. So so yeah, he's gonna be out. The surgery that he needs on his shoulder, usually it's projected 6 to 8 months for recovery. So I don't think we're going to be seeing Kenny Omega for a long time. Probably
Bring him back
not
Double or Nothing.
until
He
closer
needs
to
all
Double or
the
Nothing
time.
next year. Yeah.
Yeah, Double or Nothing. That's usually in May. Let him recover. Let him rest. And especially with the rumors that, a Kyle O'Reilly or Kevin Owens could be coming in, and you could do some fun stuff with the Elite, and then Kenny comes back, and then we can jumpstart Kenny versus Adam, especially with the way they left off on Dynamite and stuff. So I think it's pretty cool.
I think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna now have Adam take over the Elite and be the leader. I saw some people say Bobby Fish. I'm like, That'd be an interesting swerve, but
Adam
Adam Cole is
No
the
disrespect.
charisma
Yeah, Adam Cole. Yeah.
king here, and he's going to be the leader. But yeah, I can see that happening. But yeah, sucks for Kenny. I hope he recuperates. I mean, he's 38 years old at this point. You want to give him as much time as possible to recover, and depending on how much, like, he's been wrestling with Vertigo since 2018 apparently. So that's a long time. To
Listen, this
isn't
a knock on him, but like the company, they don't need him right now. Like, there's so much talent here that
they're calling Jack.
They're good for a while. They could be good for a year even. Like, look, they lost Moxley, and they're still hitting on all cylinders. Like, they're gonna be fine. Take all the time to recover. You build everybody else up, and then when Kenny comes back, boom! Look at all these new challengers that are ready for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was supposed to be wrestling at Triple Mania for the
Did they strip
title.
him?
And what?
No,
did they strip him?
They nixed the match.
No,
they might, because that's a long time to be holding that belt without. It all depends what Triple Mania's plans are. I think that will be their choice, because he won't be able to wrestle for almost half a year, close to 3/4 of a year now. So
long time.
Yeah,
it is possible.
Shout out to the chat calling Bobby Fish Bobbert Fisherman.
Bobbert Fisherman. That'd be his
That's
Impact
great.
name.
Yeah,
What's Bobbert Fisherman doing in the Impact Zone?
Oh my god. But no, really, shout out to Kenny Omega. I know, like, I don't know if it ever gets convoluted, because I see a lot of this happening on Twitter where people are like, oh, people don't give Kenny enough credit for his reign. And, because everybody was so, strongly behind Hangman Adam Page taking the title. I want to make it 150% clear. I am a huge Kenny Omega mark. Mm-hmm. It was just Hangman's time to me, but I will never, ever, ever discredit all of the things that Kenny Omega brings to the table in AEW, in his career in New Japan, everything. Like, he is a mega star. And the fact that he has been working at such a level nonstop throughout all these injuries speaks volumes of his work ethic. It speaks volume of his talent, his capabilities. So I hope that he has the smoothest recovery, but, let him take his time that he needs, get healthy, get back out there, and everybody will be chomping at the bit to see him come back. So get well soon, Kenny. We love you. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Absolutely. Now let's transition over to this week's AEW Dynamite, because yet again, an incredible episode of Dynamite. And listen, to everybody on social media who was like, this looks like a weak card. Oh my God, wow, weak card. Unbelievable card. Because listen, at the end of the day,
they showed you up, didn't they?
They are going to give you a great show. It's going to be very fun. And whatever matches they have are going to be incredible. But before we even get to the matches, there's no way we can start talking about Dynamite without talking about my new favorite holiday, and that is National Cowboy Shit Day. So, Jackie, what did you think of this whole opening segment for National Cowboy Shit Day?
Well. The moment is finally
how the turntables
freaking here. Yes, how the turntables. Because, oh my God, it was just like, I cannot stop getting emotional every time I see Hangman with that belt around his waist. Just the best feeling ever, having the Dark Order out there in the ring to welcome him, welcome the new champion. But the moment was a little bit disrupted by a very heelish Bryan Danielson. Mm-hmm. And it is the swerve of the night that I did not realize that I needed. But when it happened, damn. Because we were all a little bit, curious what would happen in terms of Miro Danielson for the number one contendership. We felt Hangman needed a heel for that first feud. And I did not think it was going to come in the form of Bryan Danielson, but I am so freaking here for it. And all that man had to do was mention WrestleMania. And the crowd completely turned on his ass. Freaking money. Yeah. I loved it.
And let's be honest, all right? The heel turn started on Sammy's vlog. If you guys saw that great clip that's going around, if you guys watch Sammy Guevara's vlogs, and you did, if you don't watch it, a little short recap is they were interviewing Danielson randomly for the vlog, and when he found out it was for the vlog, he cut this great promo about how he doesn't like vlogs and how instead of watching vlogs, we should get out and go live our life. And then he was like, the kids were supposed to be the future, but instead they're out here making vlogs, and that is so funny. That's where the heel turn started. But yeah, Kyle, what'd you think of this opening segment?
Man, they did this so smoothly. Out goes Kenny as the top heel in the company, basically, and in comes Brian Danielson as a top male heel in the company. That was a very smooth transition how they did that, and he didn't hold back. There was no like, okay, I'll come back and kind of try to get the crowd back on my side. He just went full tilt. He just he did the whole typical like shit on the crowd kind of thing. He even brought up that next week they're in Chicago that he's going to be going after. I think he said after his match with Uno that he'll be going after Colt Cabana, which is he'll be a hometown favorite. And I sat there thinking, I'm like, would Danielson? I think he'd get cheered in his entrance, but if he had like a promo or something, or he did something in the match, I think the boos would quickly get turned around. I'm sitting there thinking, like, I can't see Colt Cabana getting that much of an overwhelming reaction because they've been to Chicago already so far, and he hasn't really gotten that big of a reaction. I think Danielson would probably get a bigger reaction, but he's the perfect type of heel that you love to hate him. Like you're not gonna. He's gonna make his entrance, but you're gonna cheer until he does something heelish, and then you'll boo. Like the mom mentality kind of thing. It was awesome. I really, really loved everything about that entire segment. They've already made this match that much more hype, which I'm still sitting here looking at the calendar thinking, like, when are they going to do this match? Like, I'd be surprised if they waited till Revolution, but there's 2 key dates coming up that they could do either one of those at. I have a prediction for a new feud that just started later on, and I think I know when they're going to wrestle. So I'll get to that when I get to that. But I predicting Hangman and Bryan at either the first Dynamite of the year still, which is the TBS debut. It's going to be a big episode. The week before, they are doing New Year's Bash. They could do it at that one, and they're returning to Daly's place for that. So that could be they're doing a big celebration. They're doing New Year's Bash night. They're doing night 1 and night 2 with Rampage. So maybe then. If not, I would love if they did stretch it to Revolution, or Ant puts in the chat. Shout out to Ant, who's not here, still on vacation hoot.
We miss you.
But he put Battle of the Belts, which is the first TNT special, because Rampage is going to remain on TNT in 2022, and they're going to have a big special called Battle of the Belts. So that could be a time that they face each other. But I wouldn't be shocked if they did try to hold off till Revolution. I'm so hyped for this feud and what they can potentially do, but at the same time, that might be a little bit too long.
Yeah, I think it could.
I can see that.
I could see it being the beginning. I mean, selfishly, for Phil and I would love for it to be the TBS debut, because then we get to see that live. But you never know. But the one thing that we do know with AEW is we've always learned to kind of trust the process, because their timing is always immaculate with things. I want to do a quick shout out though to Allie in the chat, where she says, I love the part where Hangman said he beat Kenny in less than 30 minutes though.
Yeah.
I thought that Hangman's clap back throughout that entire promo was chef's kiss. Like, he never seemed like the little weak, frail baby face. He was like, no, I'm the one standing here, despite the fact that you're disappointed by Kenny not being here, because I beat him. And if I can recall correctly, I beat him in less than 30 minutes, unlike you. So
yeah, that was a mic drop kind of moment.
Love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And, Adam in chat saying Hangman doesn't look like a fighting champion if he doesn't fight for the belt until Revolution. That's a good point. I just think... So what were people saying? Like 5 weeks because of the members of the Dark Order, right? Like he's going to go through, because Danielson said he's going to go through every member of the Dark Order till he gets to Hangman, which, listen, if it's anything like tonight's match was, which I almost said his name wrong again. Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler in the world right now. So he's really gonna have a great match with anybody, right?
Even if he has 5 matches, it's not going to be the 6th week. That doesn't mean the 6th week is going to be Bryan and Hangman. They could be. They can have off weeks as well, or where they can
Ascended. I hope Ascended in the chat. I hope he fights Anna Jay. Give me what I want. The Queen Slayer ain't listen, and it's not even just the people in the Dark Order. He's got to get through -1 first. If I'm Hangman, I'm saying that in the promo. You can't get to me until you get through -1, and good luck with that.
Right. That'd be funny.
But yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, it would be hilarious. They did like a BTE skit or something.
I'm not trying to wish injury on anyone, but if he were to like Busaki knee kick -1, that'd be like the biggest heel move.
Let's be honest. If there was any little kid ever that would take a knee strike, it would be -1. -1 would oversell it like Ziggler and like bounce off the ropes. Just go through a table.
They could do it safely. Come on.
Yeah.
They can do it on BTE or they can do it on a vlog. And Bryan be like, hey, I'm on a vlog and get pissed off and do a knee kick to.
This just in, Kyle's condoning violence against children here.
I put a disclaimer at the beginning. I'm fine. I put a disclaimer. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this. I cannot wait. But host hoot. What do we got next?
So now we could transition. What did you guys think of Danielson versus Evil Uno? I definitely want to talk about that because, you know, it did get a lot of hate over the past week when people saw it on the card thinking it was a weak match. I personally thought the match was incredible. It was very hard hitting. I mean, Danielson can't have a bad match, let's be honest. And, you know, Evil Uno has showed that, you know, putting him in a ring with the right opponent, he could really show out. But what'd you guys think about that?
See, I thought it was a great match, and I love that they're still playing. We know that they're going to be playing on the fact that Bryan Danielson can win with any move at any time. So there's a few moments in this match that were I loved in this match. The one where he hit that knee kick, and he's like, no. He looked at the crowd, and he's like, no, that's not it. That's not how I'm ending this match. And then there's the other one where he like looked into the corner. It was the corner camera. And he, what did he say? He dropped a swear line too. He
said he's gonna get his fucking head kicked in.
Yeah. And then the commentary were like, "Oh, Bryan with some color commentary there or something like that."
I think JR said he's very spirited tonight.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Those are my two favorite moments in the match. It was a great match, and if he is gonna run through the Dark Order, I cannot wait. I think he's gonna bring out a great match, which each and every member of that faction.
Yeah. 100% true. Any thoughts on it, Jackie?
Just like in a nutshell, I thought that it served a good purpose in terms of getting Danielson to really showcase some of his more heelish behavior in the ring. Like if he had a move in the ropes, he was going down to the last second on the count and, you know, shoving Evil Uno in the face, like, you know, very, you know, roughly, and just all of like that kind of like aggressive nastiness. So I'm like, it's, you know, not only him going heel on the mic, but him going heel in the ring as well. So I think the match, you know, did well for its purpose.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Now, speaking of incredible matches, Butcher and Blade versus Ishii and Orange Cassidy. Now, to start this off, I saw a very funny TikTok, okay, of this girl watching, and it was like, she was seeing Ishii for the first time in the TikTok, right? And being like, who the fuck is this guy? He looks like a kid, like he was just bred to fight. And it's just so funny because then the camera pans and it's just Orange Cassidy in the middle of the ring doing the thumbs up. And you're like, this is great, man. This is just like, it's so crazy that Ishii and Orange Cassidy are in a tag team. And it's hype to see Butcher and Blade get some TV time because they're awesome. But Kyle, what did you think of this match?
I don't think Ishii experiences pain at all.
Oh my god!
I think you could literally run over him with a truck and he'd wake up and go, "Oh." He'd just get up and go, oh, "Okay." Like his head. I keep forgetting how massive his head is. It just looks like two heads molded together.
Well, do you see what Ant said in the chat? Ant said he looks like a human chicken nugget, which is the truest thing.
Oh,
I mean, this is facts. He actually does. And it's just, but it was so cool to see the Stone Pitbull in AEW. I'm loving this Forbidden Door being open and we're getting like all these these New Japan like legends and stars coming in here. It's only a matter of time, guys. We got to stay patient still. It's only a matter of time before we get the big matches or the big names coming in, like a Jay White, like a Kazuchika Okada. You know,
but Ishii is a big name. Now I see Mighty Lexar in the chat saying Suzuki is more recognizable. Sure, but I mean Ishii is awesome. Like Ishii comes with this like legendary status, and yes, they're not, you know, on the name of, you know, or on the fucking.
But that'd be
whatever
like
minds
us
of everybody.
sending Sting over to New Japan, or like Christian, someone that's older and kind of like in that legendary status.
And for people who in Japan who watch American wrestling, it's a huge deal, right? For maybe people who are newer, you know, older heads who watch wrestling is a big deal. For people who are newer, and it's the same way with New Japan, right? Like, I think they did a great job building him up on commentary. I think they did a great job of highlighting him during the match, especially the stuff. It was Butcher, right, who was giving him the strikes, and Ishii was just no-selling it and pushing forward. And it's like, these are how these New Japan wrestlers work, and they give them the chance to showcase that strong style that they're known for on American television, which is great. But Jackie, what'd you think of it?
Thought it was really cool. I think I wish people could like be a fly on the wall for our watch-alongs as we're, you know, watching Dynamite together, because your guys' conversation about, oh, like imagine you're dating some girl and she brings you home to meet her family, and Ishii is her dad. Like, you'd be
imagine.
like, dude, I'm gonna disappear. You're never gonna see me again.
Sir,
I'm sorry for
I'm moving out of
asking
state. Don't you worry, you won't see me ever again. I'm gonna move across the country, and you'll never see my face again. I'm sorry. Sir.
I'll forget your daughter ever existed.
Please,
I'm leaving
sorry.
her alone. No, but
please don't eat me for breakfast, please.
The really cool thing about the Forbidden Door setup that, you know, AEW has now with New Japan is, for somebody like me that hasn't had a whole ton of exposure to New Japan pro wrestling, I get to see a lot of these people in the ring for the first time. So again, this was my first, you know, exposure to Ishii, and he just looks like a menace, just completely like a tank. It's like you're striking him as like striking a wall. So it's just over the top, and I love that. I'm just very curious to see now at this point where this open door policy is going to lead to, like you guys, you know, alluded to earlier, seeing some of the bigger names from New Japan, you know, enter AEW territory. But overall, I thought the match was great. Shout out to Butcher. He's been looking a lot more leaned up, and
shout outs to him indeed, because he did injure himself in this match. He suffered
Did he really?
a torn bicep.
Oh, no. He just came back from an injury.
Yeah.
That poor guy. And like here I am saying, like he's looking like he's in great shape, like he's like ring ready.
Sorry, that's why I had to interrupt you. I'm like, oh, she probably doesn't know.
Oh man. I didn't. That sucks.
Well, to pick up the morale a little bit. So I see Ali in the chat saying, can we do a watch along though? Actually, if you guys go over to patreon.com/elitepov, we will be doing monthly watch alongs with our Patreon. So go over there, patreon.com/elitepov, sign up to the tier, and you'll get to watch a Dynamite or something with us once a month. It's definitely worth it. We have a ton of content coming, so make sure you guys go to that. You see it in the feed, all the great tiers that we have. So head on over there. Give us some love. We appreciate any support that you guys have. And if you guys are listening on podcast, twitch.tv/elitepov, make sure you're in here every week live and talk to us in the chat like many of the great people we have in our chat right now. Yeah. But now from one great match to another one, Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida.
You didn't see anything.
Hikaru.
Yeah, Hikaru. Well, we saw it, Kyle. It's okay.
I apologize if you were watching the video version. For some reason, a thumbnail from my eFed that I run ended up in our Patreon announcement graphic. I don't know how it ended up there. It was there. So
Nyla Rose versus Shida. This match did not disappoint. I thought this match was incredible. I love the involvement of Serena Deeb to further the storyline of Shida, and I love the fact that Nyla Rose actually won. So Jackie, what did you think of this?
So this was personally my match of the night. I thought that this match was freaking incredible. I love the fact that they allude back to the rivalry that these two have had, because it is a storied rivalry. The fact that Nyla is now tied with Shida for her win-loss record. It's just like I feel like I have to like swerve off for a second and say that I feel like people have sort of slept on Nyla Rose a little bit as of late, which is easy to do in the sense that there's a lot of great new women's talent coming in, and it takes a little bit of the spotlight and shifts it. But let's not forget that Nyla Rose is one of the OGs of the AEW women's roster. And just the stuff that she's able to do in terms of being a powerhouse in the ring, the strength that she possesses and that she displays in all of her matches. It's just incredible to me. I don't think that there's another woman on the roster that's quite doing what she's doing. So I was really happy to see her take the win on this. That diving senton that she did where she collided with that chair, she freaking flattened that damn chair out.
Oof.
So
What
just
a bump.
major stuff happening. I was happy to see her pick up the win. I was also happy to see Serena Deeb, do her run in and, sabotage the match a little bit, because I am so hyped for that feud to continue between Shida and Deeb.
I think the one thing that people need to remember is that when Nyla won the women's championship is when COVID started, and her being high risk, they had to take her off TV, which eventually led to them taking the belt off of her because they weren't sure, how many weeks of television she was going to miss. It, no one knew when they'd be able to get back to some sort of normal, right? Even to what we are now. And Nyla Rose was doing some good things when she was champion, or leading up to her winning the championship. And I think that she got kind of lost in the shuffle because by the time she was able to come back, Britt Baker had taken the world by storm with his DMD character, and all signs were leading to Britt eventually beating Shida at Double or Nothing. So it's really cool to see Nyla Rose get the spotlight because, I agree with Jackie. I think Nyla Rose is awesome. I think she's very overlooked within the company, and it's great to see her having these great, and it's also great to see her and Shida continuing this feud. I know on Twitter when we were watching it live, I said it and I tweeted this out, but to me, Shida and Rose is this generation's Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. I think they're always going to come back to it. They were one of the first rivalries on Dynamite, and I think it's something they go back to just time and time again. But Jackie, finish what you were saying.
Oh, to make my minor complaint once again about picture-in-picture in this match.
I should have known better.
Yes, I know. You shouldn't have even come back to me, because I just have to say this very quickly. I don't know if you guys caught on to the fact that the Serena Deeb attack was literally happening in picture-in-picture, and then they came back from commercial, and I'm like, typically timing is a little bit better than that, but it was like it came back from the commercial break, and I'm like, what the is happening? Like, Deeb is, attacking. Like, they could have timed that a little bit better so that the entire portion of that was completely out of picture-in-picture. Other than that, like I said, minor gripe. I thought the match was great. Vicky took a few kendo shots herself in that match. Overall, like I said,
Listen, what got more destroyed? The chair from Nyla or Vicky's heel when she was running away? That heel exploded. I was like, why did she fall? Did she twist her ankle? I was like, nah, her heel just exploded.
Oh, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Completely not was supposed to happen, I don't think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kyle, any thoughts on this match?
Nyla Rose and Sheet have already proven like this is the iconic feud of this company. It's the first women's feud of this company. And they've proven they put on, anytime they've been in a ring together, it's been a banger of a women's match. So like going into this, I knew it was going to be a really good match, and they did put on a really good match. Fortunately for me, getting the Canadian feed up here, I got back from picture-in-picture in time to see the Serena Deeb run-in. So unfortunately for you guys weren't back yet, I guess. But for that timing still, I do agree they need to time that a little bit better. But other than that, great match between these two ladies. Nyla Rose and Shida just have this chemistry, and this is the reason why they keep coming back to it, because they know they can go out there and produce a good match. And this is an important tournament. We're introducing a new women's belt. It's going to be the head belt, one of the head belts on TBS when we transition over, the one that they showcase the most. And you're going to want to put on matches in this tournament for TBS to be looking at, because TBS is surely watching this tournament because it's for the TBS championship, and you want to show TBS that we have this sweet, awesome women's division that's going to be shown on your TV, and this is what we got, and then you're going to go to that type of match. So they've been doing a good job of promoting this tournament. If it wasn't for the D run-in, I probably would have had Sheeta going over Nyla, but as soon as I seen the run-in, it kind of put 2 and 2 together and saying, okay, so Nyla's going to win, and then they're going to continue this feud, which is good because this is what everyone's asking for: more feuds in the women's division for more time on TV. So there you go.
Especially when, if you guys follow FightfulSelect.com with Sean Ross Sapp, he was reporting over the week that he talked to his connects on that TNT executives. It's not that they don't want 2 women's matches; they just want the best, like highest rated segments or something like that. So, along with what Kyle is saying, this is a great way to show TBS, like, hey, listen, these women in our division are actually really, really good, and we can showcase more than one match in the show because look, this is a whole tournament of women that aren't in the main women's storyline, and they're giving you these incredible matches. So it's just going to show TBS that we could do more with the women's division, which is really all that we want, right? Let's be honest.
Agreed.
And you got a belt with the logo on it. So obviously they're going to care much more about what's going on with that belt and what AEW can produce for that belt for branding on Dynamite. So that's also a good thing too you guys can look at. The TBS belt most likely will be defended mostly on Dynamite because it'll be the one show that will be on TBS. The Rampage will still be on TNT. There's probably going to be a chance that both belts will cross and be defended on cross brands because they still fall under the same network umbrella, but they're mainly going to be staying on both shows. So like the TBS belt will be the main showcase on Dynamite, TNT's belt will be the main showcase on Rampage. So I'm excited for this, and I'm excited for the rest of the tournament. I cannot wait till we get to the finals, and I'm expecting the finals to be on the first Dynamite of 2022 because that would just make sense.
It is.
Okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like that, and that's where Ruby Soho is going to beat Jade Cargill in the finals because Ruby Soho is winning. I don't care what anybody says.
Jamie Hayter just happened.
Thunder Rosa, hello. Come on.
That's going to be upset of the year. It's going to be upset of the year.
This is awesome. So this is awesome, right? So you think Thunder Rosa, I think Ruby, Kyle thinks Jamie, Ann thinks Jade. This is great. All 4 co-hosts think someone different.
Yep.
This is great. This is awesome. Now, speaking of something that was great and awesome that we did not think was going to happen this fast. We thought we were going to have to wait a little longer. We get an in-ring confrontation between MJF and CM Punk. And the best part about it is AEW knows when to speed it up and they know when to slow it down. And during this segment, Punk said nothing. He came out, he smiled at MJF, and he walked away.
He Jericho'd him.
Yes. Now, Kyle, you are the CM Punk guy because Ant is not here. Don't yell at me, Ant, in the chat. What did you think of this incredible segment?
I think I'm always a CM Punk guy, Ant. Sorry, you're not here. I'm always a CM Punk guy. Anyway. Sorry, just popped me in the chat.
Yeah, Ant popped me too in the chat. Oh boy.
I can't wait for this match to happen. And I know, and I alluded to this earlier, I know exactly when this is going to happen. This is going to happen in MJF's hometown in Long Island, New York, at the new arena they just built, the UBS Arena, at the beginning of December on that Dynamite. That, my friend, will probably be your main event of the evening, too.
Ooh, that's good. Good call.
So,
nice.
Yeah, the question is,
way too far for me, though, to go.
Does MJF get cheered in his hometown, or does he get booed in his hometown?
No, absolutely not. He's not getting cheered no matter where.
He got cheers in at Full Gear.
Yeah, he did.
He might get cheers.
Not against CM Punk, though.
I'm saying the Creative Pro fandom, okay? The Major Brothers Wrestling Figure, whatever the hell podcast is called, their fans are in and around the Long Island area. The Creative Pro fans would be there. They're gonna get some cheers.
I'm just curious about next week because it's in Chicago next week. They're sure we're surely to get CM Punk to say some type of words next week. But this is gonna be a feud just built on promos. Like this is gonna be built on promos. There's gonna be no attacking each other. Sean Spears, my boy, I love him. He's probably gonna attack CM Punk from behind at one point. which I'm cool with to build the feud. But this is gonna be
You're cool with anything Sean Spears does.
Pretty
Let's
much.
be real
100%,
here.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But shout out to A in the chat saying that MJF's own parents booed him. So yeah, touche.
I was a few rows away from MJF's parents in Arthur Ashe, and yes, they booed the shit out of him because that's what you do. That's how you're supporting him, by booing him.
Now, I think we will probably get Punk against either Spears or Wardlow on the way to MJF, either on a Rampage or Dynamite. Seems to be Rampage. It seems to be the show that CM Punk really wrestles on the most, so probably a Rampage. I'm going to assume next week's Rampage is going to be either Wardlow and Spears or Wardlow and Punk or Spears and Punk. But yeah, I'm
great.
assuming that that's
awesome.
going to accumulate. I can't even speak English. But
Accumulate
it's going to accumulate there. And I'm all for it. I cannot wait for them to start talking and jabbing at each other because I know you got to think that picture that got tweeted by every single person on Twitter,
Yep.
or retweeted at least, of MJF as a child meeting CM Punk is going to get brought up into this conversation or shown on the screen or somewhat. They got to show it in the screen. Punk's got to like bring that up and like show it on the screen. Like they got to do something. That would be like embarrassing for MJF. And I know he clapped back with some sort of line, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He had some great lines tonight in that promo he cut beforehand, saying in 4 years he's going to be the hottest free agent in pro wrestling or something like that.
He said, I'm the man who will start a bidding war in 2024.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
Yep.
But Jackie, what'd you think of this?
No, I was not expecting any of this, to be honest with you, but it's like one of those moments where I like to be surprised as a fan. We're all kind of like on social media. The rumor mill runs wild. I like it when I can watch a show and there's a moment that comes up like this where I'm like, holy shit, was not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
And to see Punk come out, MJF to be snarky as hell, reach out his hand for the handshake, and Punk to just like kind of look at him smugly and turn around and walk away. The biggest bruise to MJF's, ego. It's perfection. And the promos that come out of this are going to be fire from both Punk and MJF. I can't wait for this. So let's go.
It's going to be awesome, and we're going to have to sit and wait and see, because this could be something that they slow build until Revolution, because there's enough talent on the card that they can slow build this, and it's definitely going to be worth it, and it's definitely going to be amazing. Now, yet again, amazing, Dante Martin and Lio Rush versus the Acclaimed, and it's so crazy to me because I think one of the most incredible things about Dante Martin in the ring is how like high he jumps sometimes. Like when he does the flip over when someone's running at him and he just like backflips over them, the dude, it just doesn't make any sense. Like how can you get that high not running, just straight jumping? Like I wish somebody needs to have him go to like an NFL combine. I need to see his vertical. What is your vertical leap? What is your 40 time? I need to see how just impressive of an
Tony
athlete
Khan set
he
it
is.
up, man. You got access to the Jaguars.
Yeah, please, dude, because he is unreal in the ring. And then Lio Rush showed out tonight and did some incredible stuff and does what Lio Rush does that is really, really fun. But
Dante Martin's going to be a Jaguars wide receiver within a couple of years. Watch.
Dude, 100%. 100%. 100. They need all the help they can get, right? And this coming from a Jets fan. We suck too.
He's going to do both. He's going to wrestle and be a Jaguar.
Yeah. And still be performing as one of the best on and off the field. But Jackie, I'll start with you. What'd you think of this match?
Think that the combination of Lio Rush and Dante Martin has become one of my favorite things to happen for AEW Dynamite, because when they're announced for the card that match is going to be an absolute freaking banger. And like you said, I mean, like I want to give credit to everybody that's involved in a match, but when you have somebody like Dante Martin, and we've been saying this for weeks on end, he is just such a natural star. Like the things that he does, I'm mind blown every single time. And it's not even like the mind blown where you're like scared half to death that you're going to watch a car crash happen. It's just everything is very, very clean. And like we like to say here, crisp. And I just freaking love it. I love this combo with the two of them. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen now when Darius returns. Are they going to go the trios route?
I think so.
Or are they going to
Yeah.
have some kind of feud between the brothers?
Nope.
Who knows?
No feud. I think that they're gonna either put Top Flight together and maybe I don't know, maybe
be
I
trios.
guess a trio.
They're gonna be
but like
trios.
Leo Rush will be more of like a manager type and wrestle here and there. But I think this storyline, especially with yet again after the match, we're seeing Team Taz come out and try to recruit Dante Martin. So this is like a major storyline where everyone wants Dante Martin to be a part of their team. So I think that the end game is going to be him and Darius getting back together and him not being with anybody but his brother.
I think they're going to be a trios route because I have a weird gut feeling that tonight's Owen Hart announcement, because apparently Tony Khan is going to reveal what the Owen Hart tournament's going to be about tonight. I think that's going to be the trios tournament.
But why? Like, Owen Hart, what? Because he was in the Hart Foundation? Like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were a stable. They weren't a trio.
Mm.
There was like 5 of them.
They're supposed to have this trios tournament. When else are they going to announce it?
They could do it in going into Double or Nothing or something. So Ant's saying this into the chat that I have to read for anybody who's not here right now watching live. Ant goes, I don't need a partner. I don't need a friend. I need my older brother. They hug and scene.
That's interesting. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
I need my brother.
Probably in a movie somewhere.
Yeah. Some great movie.
I think they're going to be together.
5-star movie.
I think Leo Rush and Top Flight are going to be a team. I think they're going to stay a team. There's a reason why there's all these factions. It's not just for no reason.
Mm-hmm. It's to get as many people on TV as possible.
And if you're going to have a massive tournament, you're going to need a lot of factions.
Yeah. Or as Sean Ross Sapp calls them, gang wars.
And can you imagine all 3 of them together? My lord.
Yeah.
It'd be
just take
great.
it to that next level.
Yeah, exactly. But another match that I want to talk about, and that is the main event. Sammy Guevara versus Jay Lethal for the TNT Championship. Listen, it was so good. So very, very good. A great showcase for Jay Lethal. There were times during this match where I was like, is Jay Lethal going to win? Yet again, like we talked about at our Full Gear review show, AEW does a great job of making you think sometimes that what is predictable might not actually happen. They might do something surprising. They might do something out of nowhere, and having Jay Lethal win the title in his first match could actually happen, especially when you have Sammy Guevara during the match grasping his ribs, which scared me for a second because I was like, wait a minute, did something bad happen? But then I was like, all right, he's selling his injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jackie, I'll go to you first on this. What'd you think of the main event?
I thought it was a really solid match. It's interesting that you bring up the rib thing because I questioned for a moment, not so much with this match in particular, but just going down the line, like, is this rib thing going to be a ongoing issue where it's going to play into his title loss down the line? Because he sold the shit out of that. But I want to talk about that freaking crazy ass table spot where Sammy ate that damn table. It was freaking nuts. And I'm like, this guy is playing up an injury the entire match. So what does he do? He goes to the top turnbuckle, flies off, and completely hits a table. Sammy
and
does
the AEW tables, which are like, they're not exactly New Japan tables, like they actually break, but still like they're way thinner than like WWE announced tables, right? So that it's like he had to hit that like spot on. Like I know looking at it, right, the most impressive thing is like, wow, he really threw his body like all out there. But I think the more impressive thing is his aim because he hit it perfectly.
He hit
like,
it dead on. And it's just like every Sammy Guevara match, you know you're going to see at least one spot that's going to give you a freaking heart attack. And that was the spot for me. I think, like I said, it was a solid match. There were moments where you thought that Jay Lethal could leave with the title, and he kept pushing the fact that, you know, if he did, he would be the first person to come in on an open challenge situation and take the title off of somebody. So overall, well done. Sammy retains. But can we talk about also how they keep showing Tony Nese in the crowd before these matches? And I'm like wondering where that's leading up to.
And
Same.
I know a lot of people are like, they don't need Tony Nese. They don't need Tony Nese. And it's like, listen, he's talented, man. He's fucking awesome. And like we always say, week after week, you sign the talented people and you figure it out later. Maybe a Rampage is going to go to 2 hours and it's just live every week. Like, and they're just in different arenas and they go to 2 days a week. But like,
I totally
you
see it
cannot
happening. It's going to be
you
9
cannot
to
let this
11
talent.
every Friday.
You can't let these talented people go. And people are like, oh, Tony Nese, whatever. Listen, go find his matches that he was having on 205 Live. Like, this dude is incredible in the ring, and he looks like a star. And if they package him the right way,
I just want him to count his
it's gonna
abs.
be awesome.
Just want him to count his abs. Just come out and count your abs again. I always lose track. He always reminds me how many abs he has. Makes me feel bad about myself, but it's okay. I just wanted him to know that I need to know how many abs he has. Come out there and start counting, man. Stop being in the crowd. I guarantee he's going to come out and challenge Sammy Guevara to an open challenge or whatever. But yeah, he's an insanely talented person. And like, speaking of talented, Jay Lethal just proved why that was an amazing signing by AEW with that match against Sammy Guevara. Like Phil said, there were times where they made you think AEW is great at doing this. They made you think that Jay Lethal might walk out with that TNT belt. And I honestly almost believed at the end. There were a couple of times right at the end where I thought Jay Lethal was going to win the TNT belt. Like, I think there's a couple, as I mentioned in chat, like, oh, are they going to do this? Like, and that would have been crazy. And that would have been, I think that would have gotten a massive pop too. And that would have been awesome for Jay Lethal, but obviously a little bit too early. Sammy Guevara is so good right now. But yeah, Jay Lethal, I'm excited for his future. I'm excited to see where he goes to now and what he transitions to. And I hope it's a feud where it ends up in the end result at like in a big event, like either a special Dynamite or a pay-per-view where he brings back Black Machismo and he brings out the Macho Lethal, which I am excited for. I think he's got, I think this was done, his new theme was done on purpose. I think he's got two themes. Because we heard.
Well, did you see what Mikey Ruckus?
I think Mikey Ruckus tweeted about it that he had
someone
two
asked
themes.
him. Yeah.
Oh, he has two themes. Okay, so
someone tweeted
thought
him
process
about it.
was right. Okay.
They needed to. They
right.
made the theme really fast, and that's what he wanted. Like, that's what Jay Lethal wanted. And then he went back to Mikey Ruckus and was like, "Oh, can you add whatever?" And then he did that. So he's the only one in the company that has two themes.
So I think what we heard it at Full Gear is what we're gonna hear when he brings out the Black Machismo character, which is amazing. And I don't remember the last time that I seen it on. I think the last time I seen it on TV was All In when he faced.
Oh my God. Yeah. When he faced Flip Gordon for the ROH Championship.
Yeah.
Right? No.
Yeah. No. That's the last time I seen it. He might have brought it out after that, but that's the last
Yep.
time I seen it on TV. And it was great because he was walking backstage and he had the two BTE. I forget what they're called. The two guys that yell behind the camera. And then he got snapped into
Arthur and Trevor, is it?
And he got snapped into going into Black Machismo mode. And there was that one part of that All In match where he put Brandy on his shoulders like Ms. Elizabeth.
Yeah. Oh my God. Fantastic.
That was like the best moment ever. So like, oh, I can't wait. And I hope Ric Flair comes in and we have another freaking promo between those two and recreate a moment like that. I don't think Ric Flair can go as hard anymore, but.
Or as Ant says in the chat, maybe Lethal could just be Ric Flair and manage Andrade. Problem solved. So very true. But listen, an incredible main event. Great job showcasing Jay Lethal for anybody who doesn't know of all his great work that he was doing in ROH for all these past years, the great work that he used to do in TNA. So it's great to see a guy that's brand new to the company get a main event spot and show everybody just how great he is. Now, as we wrap up the Dynamite coverage, is there anything that you guys want to bring up from the show that you want to talk about? Kyle, I'll start with you.
They slightly tease, or I'll really quickly say Malachi's promo was amazing.
Yes.
Quickly also say I loved Kingston and Garcia. I love how Kingston brings in realism in every promo he does, and it makes it feel like he legit wants to fight you, which is awesome. And lastly, the tease, they planted the seed for Cole and Omega.
Yep.
They planted the seed with that promo. So once Omega comes back, we know they're going that direction for sure. I love how they planted that seed. I got this cleaner, so which is great line. Can't wait for Kyle O'Reilly to come in, and then he which it gets me all like thinking, like, is that going to be the time the Bucks convert? Like, is Cole going to turn on the Bucks with Fish and O'Reilly, and that makes the Bucks go babyface again?
Oh my God, maybe.
Mm.
Maybe.
So
Man.
that's what's going through my head. But again, like you said in the beginning, Phil, all these people are like, "Oh, it's such a lackluster Dynamite." Look what they did. They don't have to like promote a big Dynamite for it to still be a big Dynamite. That's why you guys got to tune in. It makes me want to tune in each and every single week. I don't even care what they promote. I'm still going to tune in because of what we just seen, and the cliffhangers that they leave make you wanting more. That's what makes a great show. They make you want more. So you tune in the following week to get that more. So, and it reminds me, just constantly reminds me of NXT when they were in their glory days.
Oh yeah, and
Every
you don't have to be on the show, but you don't have to physically be on the show. But maybe we see a promo or something, and Ascended in the chat is talking about when Bobby Fish was like, and that's and Matt Jackson was like, no,
we
we don't say that here.
We don't say that here. And he had his hand motion.
No, dude, it was great. But see, that's another thing that we love about AEW is because they know that we know, so they're gonna play to us, those diehard fans.
They don't make us feel stupid. They don't belittle our intelligence.
Let's make a joke about
like other companies.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh Lord, I would just like to point out, Kyle, that my best friend Emily's in the chat. It says, after listening to this podcast on my drive, I would like Kyle to be my new GPS voice.
Turn.
Team Canada.
I just love that I pick
turn left.
I just love that I pick such great co-hosts. Jackie gets all the love all the time, right? She's a draw. She's incredible. She's amazing. We're lucky to have her. People want Kyle to be their GPS. We got Mama POV in the chat saying they miss Ant, and I'm just here in a Jets hat. What's going on, guys?
No, we love you.
Going
Stop
on,
it.
guys.
Yeah, but
are you kicking me out the group? Am I Kenny Omega?
No, you're host hoot.
I'm host hoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're Captain
three
Hoot.
times,
and producer Hoot. You're host Hoot. She's draw Hoot.
No, Captain Hoot. It's done.
Captain Hoot.
Captain Hoot.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so now let's preview the matches that are coming up on Rampage tonight. We have Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, or Robert Fisherman, as the chat said earlier, which is going to pop me every time I think about that. This is Jurassic Express. We had Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill, which I'm really, really looking forward to that. And we have Darby Allin versus Billy Gunn, and hopefully the Ass Boys come out.
Yo, they tweeted out saying, please no Ass Boys chants. That means they're chanting it tonight because this was pre-recorded. So we're getting it tonight. We're getting Ass Boys chants tonight.
I love you too, Mama POV.
Yes,
I see you.
Mama POV. All
I suppose you are okay too, Phil. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Phil's all right.
One thing that I do want to mention, because it's been on my mind, I always forget to bring it up. Where the fuck is Marco Stunt? Why is he not coming out with Jurassic Express anymore?
Oh, someone mentioned it when they were on the Jericho Cruise. Someone talked to him. I think he's injured.
Maybe he can't. He's not cleared to compete.
I want to say he did something to his leg/ankle. So I think that's why he's not out. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe they're just keeping him out.
Maybe for like a big return later on, possibly.
I swore I saw someone tweet out on the Jericho Cruise that they talked to him, and he said something about a leg or ankle injury.
Okay. And speaking of Gun Club, if you guys have a chance, look up the video of Austin Gunn rap battling Mark Sterling at Max Caster's show from Full Gear. It is fucking hilarious, all right? And the best part is, I think Mark Sterling won.
Wow.
All I'm going to say.
Smart Mark Sterling.
Listen, he came hard at him. I got to find the link. I'll send it to you guys after the show. But, it was funny. It was really, really funny. But so I'll start with you, Jackie. What is the match you're looking forward to most tonight?
What was it? Robert Fisherman?
Robert Fisherman and Adam Cole.
Versus
Budge and Robert Fisherman versus Jurassic Express.
Jurassic Express. Yeah, I just know that that's gonna be my personal match of the night. I love that they're continuing this feud by proxy with Adam Cole and Jungle Boy. Everything that these two in particular have been producing throughout this feud has been absolute fire. So for me, that's my go-to match of the night.
It's almost like they're. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's almost like they're doing. You know how it's almost like because I know Cole loved turning the O'Reilly story into a feud with him. It's almost like he's continuing this, but using Jungle Boy instead.
Yeah, good point.
Because like I feel the same energy, and I'm loving it. If they continue this feud between those two, they're gonna produce insane matches 1-on-1 like we've seen. So I cannot wait for that, and it's gonna be really cool to see the boys back together tonight. I really hope they tease something undisputed, like pretending to do a hand motion or something. Like I hope when they come out on the stage, just pretend to do the hand motion, but then like put it back down or something like that.
Yeah. Get a pop out of the crowd. But
Yeah.
the match that I'm looking forward to the most tonight is Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill, because I love their feud. I think it's awesome. I love the
Velvet's so
tease
good.
that we got. And I think it's going to be great. For anybody who was wondering where that clip was, and thank you for sending it in the chat, that clip of the rap battle was on Sammy's vlog.
Oh, there you go.
I try to watch a lot of the AEW vlogs. And speaking of vlogs, hold on a second. Why did I wait this long to talk about it? Okay. There's rumors coming from the source herself that Ty Conti's starting a vlog.
Oh.
I'm going to hit that subscribe, that notification bell. I'm going to be at work. Like, I need to time my breaks when this airs, please. And thank you. If she starts releasing.
New follower, Tay Conti. Shouts to you. Shouts to
thank you,
Conti.
Ty Conti.
Yes.
I'm sure you're listening to the podcast.
Hopefully,
after
maybe.
an hour and 15 minutes. Thank you.
If you see Jamie, tell her I said hi. You know.
Yeah, tell her to just hit the like button one time.
Just
bro.
one like button.
One time. And speaking of Jamie Hayter, a good preview for next week's Dynamite. We have Bryan Danielson versus Colt Cabana, like we said. We have FTR, Andrade, and Malachi Black, a team brought to you by me specifically. Thank you very much. Versus Cody, Pac, and the Lucha Bros. And then Jamie Hayter, Kyle's girl, versus Thunder Rosa.
The upset's
Jackie's
happening.
pick.
The
These two
upset.
might go to blows next week.
The upset
based on-
is happening next week. It's going to throw everybody off. Jamie Hayter is beating Thunder Rosa because Thunder Rosa is going to get pissed because it's going to be like Reba or maybe Britt helps Jamie win, and that's going to lead Thunder Rosa towards Britt Baker for the Women's World title. There you go. You wanted a taste.
Kyle,
I gave you a
you
taste.
Put it like that, I guess. I mean, that's better than the alternative.
Shout out to my
but
boys
whatever.
2.0.
Yeah, and more Canadians for you to get
Yeah.
behind.
Love it.
You want to take a swing? I want that shirt, bro.
I love
You want
those
to take
two.
a swing?
Anytime they're on BTE, I go absolutely apeshit. Those two were the best signing. They are so funny. I don't know how
They're so funny.
no one gets behind them. They're freaking
hilarious.
their segment that they do is gold. They need to put that on Dynamite. That would get the pop out of the crowd. That would be amazing.
No, Ant, wrong 2.0.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that version of 2.0.
I
That
just-
2.0 sucked.
Isn't
feel
that a
like
weird
this is-
coincidence?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, this is gonna be the week of Dynamite where our team just like spontaneously combusts between the Jamie Hayter Thunder Rosa match and that 8-man freaking tag. And I know that Phil, you're saying that that match is brought to us by you, but you have Malachi Black, Andrade, and FTR on one side of that
Hey, you heard
match.
that? The R? The
Andrade.
R rolling?
Andrade.
I gotta make it sound
Andrade.
fancy.
Andrade.
But I love all freaking four of them. And I'm going to just say respectfully, that's a very attractive match. That's all I'm going to say about that. The end.
Yeah, listen.
Hashtag
And,
casual
and I will
thighs.
say this. When I used to watch, I was the NXT guy. Those were my 4 fucking guys. So I am so excited. Call it Team Phil. Team Phil. Just come out to Team Phil.
The late 2010s, that was the golden era of NXT. Like when they had Andrade, at the time, Aleister Black, the Garganos, the Coles, the Undisputed Era, like the Joes, the Nakamura, like when Balor's even there. That era of NXT in that couple, like 4 or 5 years, that was the golden age of NXT.
And now we get to see 4 great talents. Like
most
Andrade.
of them, almost all of them now in AEW.
Yeah, exactly. Black. And in a couple months, they might all be
Gargano is set his contract December 3rd. I seen it today. He hasn't re-signed, and it's on December 3rd.
They're offering him the house and more, man.
He's
we'll
walking.
See. We'll see what happens.
I guarantee he's walking. He's gonna walk himself right into AEW, and we're gonna get Bryan Danielson versus Johnny Gargano one day, and it's gonna be the most ultimate wrestling match we're ever gonna see in our entire lives.
Yep, and then we're going to combust because our eyes can't see such greatness.
Yeah, exactly. He knows.
But as we end the show, we like to remind you guys, we have a Patreon now, patreon.com/ElitePOV for all exclusive content. We have the great stuff with Kyle interviewing Kyle about his journey over to Elite POV. We have the incredible first episode of Top Girl Talk with Jackie and Jamie. We have some great stuff coming up, some great ideas in the works. Patreon.com/ElitePOV if you guys want to do monthly watch alongs. We have a bunch of stuff that is planned in the pipeline, so make sure you guys follow so you never miss a second. If you want to follow our show on Twitter and Instagram, is @ElitePOV. We are available anywhere podcasts are found. We are also on YouTube. If you miss the live shows on twitch.tv/ElitePOV. The VOD is up on Twitch, and we put a video version up on YouTube. So any way you want to watch the show at any point, at any time, we are up there. We are not Bleacher Report, okay? You don't have to wait 4 days to see our replays if you guys aren't able to watch these shows live. Yeah. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @PhiliumElite. Jackie, let everybody know where they can follow you.
Yes. Before I drop my personal socials, I would also like to add that we are also on TikTok for.
I always forget TikTok.
Yes, TikTok, Elite POV clips over on that platform. And as for me, you can find me on Twitter @LoveYouMake24, and you can find me on Instagram @JacksTheDrawPOV.
I'll let everybody know where they can follow you.
Well, it's going to take me a lot to do any kind of TikTok on there, so don't expect to see any TikTok dances from me anytime soon. So just a heads up to anyone.
Listen, I'm not even sure TikTok. Kyle has legs. I've only ever seen him at his desk.
Technically, I don't.
Does he have legs?
I don't. No, I just kind of waddle. But anyways.
Now, I did steal it. We did steal a chair from Kyle's table. At what WrestleMania was it? Oh, no, what takeover
NXT
or something.
NXT New York.
Yeah. NXT New York, we stole a chair from Kyle's table. But he was sitting, but did he have legs?
You never know.
He might be all torso.
Know.
No one will ever. Maybe I'll release a Patreon and let you guys know. But speaking of Patreon, actually, it's confirmed, myself and our social media coordinator, Jamie Strange, we have our snack crates. They both came in today. Coincidentally, it's weirdly enough that she got it today at the same time that I got it in Canada, which is completely weird because that usually never happens. But we got our snack crates, guys. We're actually going to be recording this weekend. So look for that on Patreon, where it's funny because she actually got a snack crate from a country that I'm very familiar with. I don't know who I got. So it's going to be interesting to see it'll be funny for you guys to watch myself and Jamie's reactions to experiencing food from other countries in these snack crates. We're going to be doing a lot of those. I know me and Jamie have talked, and we're going to do monthly subscription to those things. So you'll see a lot more of those. Me and Ant are actually brainstorming on something really cool. If you're a fan of our E-Federations, we have something really cool planned for the Patreon, so stick around for that. And then also, if you're an Apple Podcast listener, if you're listening to this right now on Apple Podcast, and you have not done so, head on over, click Elite POV, get to our profile page, scroll all the way down, you'll get to it. Leave us a generous 5-star rating, a Dave Meltzer 5-star rating. Let us know what you guys thought of the podcast. It helps us tremendously in the Apple Podcast side of things, in the rankings, and gets the podcast out there and known to the universe. So thank you to all who have. We've seen all your comments. We've seen your ratings. We've seen your retweets about it. So really do appreciate everyone who's done that. You guys mean the world to us, so thank you so much for that. And you can follow me, lastly, on Twitter, @AllEliteKyle, as I continue my journey at getting Jamie Hayter to like my tweet and becoming her first like on Twitter.
I was waiting where in the promo that was gonna come up. I knew
right
it was gonna
end.
come up.
Say the best for last.
And before we got to hear his mouth at a later date, go over to the YouTube channel and watch Ran on Wrestling. Okay, Ant does a fantastic job. It's our highest viewed videos on all of our YouTube channel. So head on over there, go binge watch the episodes of Ran on Wrestling. Give everything else to watch. Have a great time. We always appreciate all the love and support that we get from you guys. We have some big things in the works, like we said. But as we leave, and we're going to try to do this in sync, because Jackie wants to punch me in the face every time I do this. Everybody in the chat, as you're listening at home live, all right? And Jackie, listen, if you're driving, all right, might have to pull over. I don't want no accidents, all right? I know people want Kyle to be their GPS, all right?
Please, pull
everybody
over.
together, thank you for listening to Elite
POV.
POV. And remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy.
See ya.